Hey everyone, I'm Matt with Ozark Overland Adventures, and if you watch our channel, you know that Kara and I, we don't shy away from getting into the sticky situations. We don't shy away from the technical trails. In fact, we kind of prefer those, which means we end up using our winches a lot.
There you go. There you go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There you go.
You need to have them straighten out. I'm worried about that.
It's good. There we go. And if you know anything about winching, it can be inherently dangerous, especially if you're using any type of worn or old equipment, stuff that hasn't been replaced after multiple uses. Sometimes stuff can happen. I've had winch lines break on me before. I've had winch lines break on friends before. Luckily, we tend to all use synthetic winch lines on our winches, which from a safety standpoint is a lot safer than steel cable. Steel cable stretches, it stores a lot of kinetic energy, and if a shackle fails or a hook on the end of the winch line fails or the winch line itself fails, that becomes a very dangerous projectile coming back in whichever direction it broke. So we do use synthetic line. Synthetic line can store a little bit of kinetic energy. So if you maybe have a big hook like this connected to a tree strap or a shackle or soft shackle, and that piece fails, this could become a projectile. They're not as bad as steel, but still could become a projectile coming back in the at people or your vehicle, that sort of thing. Just over 2 years ago, we met the guys at Yankum ropes, and they were introducing a new product called the Groove Fairlead. And I've been running this on my Jeep for over 2 years now. And what this does is it allows you to remove any type of heavy metal thimble or hook. We just put the Ultra hook on my wife's new Gladiator back when we were getting it set up, because that's all we had. We didn't have a Groove Fairlead at the time. And I can tell you, this thing, there we go. This has got some heft to it. Like this thing is not lightweight. So what we're going to do today is take off the Ultra hook. We are going to take off this little metal thimble here and re-splice this synthetic line for the Groove Fairlead. So, and then show you how that works. First thing, let's get this little C-clip out of here. Very good. Now that slides out. And boom. Done with the Ultra hook. No more need for that. Now, we're going to deal with this in a minute. We've got to get this traditional Fairlead off. And then we're just going to slide the Groove Fairlead back on. So what we need to do now is remove the thimble. And for that, see how sharp my knife is here. Pretty good. And there's that. All right, so now what we need to do is create a hoop in the end of the winch line that will go over the groove Fairlead hoop. And we can do this one of two ways. We can do basically a trail repair style style connection here, which is honestly what I've done on our other two Jeeps. And I mean, for 2 years now, it's been holding solid. But for this one, there's another style called a locking Brummel, and that's what I want to do with this one. And because you don't have to use as much winch line down at the bottom to bury. So that should be more than enough. I'm going to take a marker, make sure I've got a good loop there, and I'm just going to mark this. Where that needs to go. And then I'm going to do all of this with, they make all different kinds of tools and stuff to do this. I don't own any of those. So I'm going to do all of this with a number 2 pencil. And so I'm going to take the pencil, I'm going to bury it in the fibers like that. I'm going to take some Gorilla Tape, and I'm just going to tape the winch line to the pencil. So just like that. So that's going to be my, I guess, my fid. You can use a crochet hook, all kinds of different things. But so I'm going to loosen the fibers, make sure I get an even amount. There's 12 fibers in here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on each side. And I'm just going to run this, pass it through the fibers like that, and boom. There's my loop. Get my marks the same way. Let's verify. Yep, perfect. Now, to make the locking Brummel part, I'm going to loosen up these fibers here. I'll take my pencil and really spread these strands apart. Make sure I've got an even number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure they're even. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, there we go. 1, 2, 3. Yep, there we go. All right, so I'm going to spread these out, make a big loop in them. I'm going to take this loop, I'm going to pass it through this loop. And pull that tight. Bingo. Now, this is the locking Brummel, because with this like this, I don't even have to bury the rest of this. This is not coming undone. That right there is locked in place. This hoop is solid. I do have to do one thing. Now these strands here are twisted, and you don't want twisted strands, so I'm just going to take this, come back through here. To untwist the strands. There we go. Bingo. Work these out all even. And now that is a locked Brummel end. All right, now the rest of it, I'm just going to take this, I'm going to push these strands together and then bury the rest of my winch line here. helps if you go ahead and kind of loosen all these strands up. I just want to bury about 18 inches of it. All right, for this part, I switched over to a ballpoint pen instead of a pencil. I actually started this with the pencil and realized that the little imperfections on a pencil can grab the fibers, and that's bad. Switched over to a ballpoint pen. Same thing, just tape to it. And what you're gonna do now is you wanna bury this into the winch line. And about a foot, 10 inches or so is plenty because this is already locked. So I'm just gonna push all these little fibers together here just to kind of create a path for it to go down the middle, and then start right there. And feed it down the middle of the winch line. There we go. And that should be far enough. There we go, that should do. Make a little hole, run the pin out there. There we go. Now, I just want to slowly and carefully work this winch line up over. It's a little hard with the tape because the tape tends to want to grab a little bit. But just be patient. Work it over. It'll come through. There it comes. Come on, there it goes. Perfect. So that's what we want. We want that right there. So let's pull that all the way in. Bury it in the fibers. Right there. Massage it all back in place. Then run that down. There we go. Now, right here, what I want to do is cut all these fibers so it kind of tapers. You don't want just a blunt cut there because that will put a blunt spot in your winch line, and that does tend to weaken it. So I'm going to, I think I have a better tool. Hold on. These should work. So I'm just going to snip the winch line and work my way up at an angle. And I can pull some of these strands apart, cut them. There's that one, there's that one. Cut these off here. There, now that's a much better taper. Let me cut a couple of these off too. There, it's just got a little taper. So now I'm gonna pull that all the way back into the line. And there, and then you can see a very smooth taper going down the winch line. Nothing, no abrupt transitions or anything. And that's it. So I've got my hoop. That's not going anywhere. Let me spool this back into the winch, and then I'll show you something else. And that's what it looks like. You're not gonna damage anything on your winch line. If you bump into a tree, you slide up on a rock, you're not gonna hurt anything on your recovery system with this. Now, the other thing that Yankum has come out with very recently for your synthetic winch lines. Every time Yankum makes their kinetic ropes, they put this rubberized hard coating on the ends of their kinetic lines. Well, they always have a lot of this left over. And so they thought, I think we can do something with that. And so they hollowed it out on the ends. And what it is now is a protective sheath, basically, for a soft shackle. Soft shackles are great, but they do have their limitations. You cannot put these through eyelets that have sharp corners. We have broken a soft shackle like that before, just not using a hard shackle to mount to the bumper recovery point. Not all of them are rounded. Some of them have very sharp edges. You know, throwing this around an axle for recovery, a lot of sharp edges and stuff for that too. So they're fantastic in that they're lightweight, a lot of different uses and stuff, but they do have their downsides. This takes the place, or this corrects a lot of those downsides. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take just a coat hanger, and that I've kind of shaped in this shape here. I'm gonna feed this through here. Maybe, come on. There it goes. And then I'm gonna take some paracord and feed it back through. There we go. And then I'm gonna tie the paracord to the end of the winch line. Very poorly. So that then I can pull the winch line of a super shackle, a super soft shackle. So everything functions normally, but if I need to, put this around an axle, put it around something sharp, now my winch line, or now my soft shackle is not going to break. This is a protective sleeve for the soft shackle. And I just think that's brilliant. I mean, just an idea to how do we repurpose this protective layer here, and now you got a super shackle, a super soft shackle. And I think these are brilliant. The guys at Yankum Ropes, I love them because they just keep kind of thinking outside the box like this, or at least thinking old school, making it new school again. Because none of this stuff, well, maybe this, but the groove Fairlead and the metal-less winch point, that's not new. That's been used in nautical, I'm forgetting the term off the top of my head, in nautical uses for eons, forever. That's not new, but they saw how useful that was in that environment and thought, hey, that would be awesome for us to have in the off-road environment. Take away all the metal aspects as much as you can, so that if there's a failure at any point, you don't have this. Where'd it go? Something like this doesn't become a projectile back at your vehicle. God forbid, back at a person, because that would hurt. That would hurt a lot. There you go. There's some very practical ways the Yankum is coming out, or has had out for a few years, on how to make your recovery that much safer. And I love it. Like I said, I've had this on Sully for over 2 years now, and have done a lot of hard pulls in rocks, mud, trees, all different kinds of environments, and it's absolutely fantastic. This goes on every Jeep we own, and I will not have another Jeep in the future without it. Well, I think that's it. Links to all of this stuff from Yankum are in the description with the discount code down there. So if you want to, add a super shackle like this to your recovery kit, groove Fairlead, take away all the metal as much as you can from your recovery. Links in the description. And if you like the video and hit the like button, please. That helps YouTube know that you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. If you like what we're doing, you like the content that we're putting out, these type of videos or trip videos, and you want to consider supporting the channel, the Patreon link is in the description. Gain access to special events, special content, all of our GPS data from our trips, and for all of our merchandise, go to shopoverlandapparel.com. I'll see you next time. Bye.